I welcome Feature Friday here. We got Philly, or should I say, I'm sorry, Robert Ridley. I'll give you your proper government name here with
Appreciate that.
us. He is the president of the DC Alumni Chapter here. Welcome, man.
Welcome. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
I appreciate it. Well, just give us a little, just quick rundown. Tell us a little bit about yourself, your class, occupation, any kind of fraternities, anything of that sort, man.
So Robert Ridley, everybody calls me Philly though. When I was at Smith, it was Big Philly for about 1 or 2 years, but then it got shortened to Philly. Class of 99, as you could guess, I'm from Philly, but I've been in DC now for about 20 years, I guess 18, 20 years now. I am a public health analyst with the DC Department of Health. I've been working in public health, my whole career pretty much. I'm a Kappa, as you know, we're both fraternity brothers. I am the president of the DC Alumni Chapter. I've also done a lot of work with other HBCU organizations in terms of the HBCU DC Alumni Alliance. So I'm very active in that, capacity with the alliance and helping promote HBCUs.
Okay, nice, man. And we got a 5-star ball recruit that committed to Howard. I told my wife, I was like, if they let us go, we get season tickets. I gotta support the movement, even though
absolutely.
So I'm like, it's really exciting times right now for HBCUs. They're getting a lot of love right now. So, tell us about your career path. How'd you end up at the Department of Health here?
So, well, when I went to Smith, I was always like a history buff growing up and loved history. And my mom was kind of had a number of health challenges growing up. And she asked me, when I was going to Smith, well, what do you want to major in? And I was like, well, I'm going to major in history. And she was like, well, what type of job you going to get in history? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know about a history degree. And then she's like, well, why don't you think about majoring in health? Because health is a diverse field where you can always get a job as, you could do a number of different things with health. So I listened to my mom. I guess I was a part mama's boy and listened to her for a little bit and got into health. And then when I was at Smith, Dr. Wright, who was the chair of the health education department, she put me on into grad school and kind of just blossomed from there. And I've always been able to find different jobs in it. And it's just kind of fit my mold with what I'm able to do. And it allows me to get out in the street. I get to talk to people, meet with groups and stuff like that. So it's been an ideal fit for me in terms of where I like to go and how I like to move and stuff.
Okay. All right. Nice. Now, previously, I know one of your previous gigs, you used to specifically work with Black men, right?
Yeah. So I worked with Concerned Black Men. It's a nonprofit organization that is, targeting, African-American men. I did a teen pregnancy prevention program that was targeting specifically for adolescent boys. So in that capacity, a lot of times pregnancy prevention is geared for females, obviously. But this program was geared for men and helping them understand the role that they have in relationships and sexual relationships and helping them be prepared for the challenges that, go into that and being able to communicate with their young ladies, with their counterparts, being able to communicate their feelings. So it was a great program that was targeting 6th to 12th grade students. We helped them educate them about the STIs and teen pregnancy, what their role was, communicate their feelings, all that, along with helping them be mentors. We were all, Black men primarily that ran the program and facilitated the program. So that was an ideal fit where boys in our community was able to see Black men talk about something that was positive.
Man, I'm sitting back like that. That sounds like a phenomenal program. Now,
go ahead.
It
was a phenomenal program. Unfortunately, they lost their funding and the program went away. But Concerned Black Men is still around in some capacity, though.
Okay. All right. Nice. Now, speaking of that, so I'm gonna interject some person that sometimes Black men, we hard-headed, in terms of health stuff. Like, I know it takes me, I gotta have something broken and leaning for me to go to the doctor, right? Absolutely. What are some of the challenges that you encountered dealing with maybe the disparity between, let's say, not just African American men, but Black folks in general, and some of the stuff that you may be seeing that you're having to deal with?
So okay, well let me kind of clarify, I guess, what I do in terms of. So I'm an analyst. So I look at the programs and basically what I work with the HIV/AIDS department right now. So
Okay.
we fund organizations that do HIV services, and
Okay.
I pretty much oversee them in terms of making sure they're spending their money right, they're following all the regulations and so forth.
Okay.
And that's really I'm an overseer. Overseer is not the right word in this, but I'm I'm kind of the monitor of their program to make sure that they're doing the right thing and everything.
Um,
So,
we are so conscious of every word we say now, right now.
Yeah, but in terms of Black men though, we do, and overall though, we have to be very conscious of our health. I mean, we are Black men, Black African Americans have the leading indicators of pretty much every negative health thing that you could think of: obesity, heart disease, diabetes, cancer, all those type things. So we had to be on the preventive side and making sure that we getting our regular checkups. If we on medication, taking our medications, being very thorough about our exercise, because the fact is that we are susceptible to all of those negative health factors that go out there, and we just had to be very conscious of that. And so we are, breaking that cycle of bad health behaviors.
Okay. All right. Nice. Nice. Now, we know you're the president of the DC Local Alumni Chapter, one of the fastest growing chapters, and one of the, I would say, I hear a lot of alum talking very well. I'm part of the chapter, so I'm biased,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
I hear
yeah.
a lot of the chapters like, man, y'all got it going on. So, and you're leading that whole thing.
Yeah.
What led you to get involved with the alumni chapters, and you're doing a lot more than most. What led you to be inspired to become involved and take on leadership?
Well, first, I mean, I knew I was going to be. I think I just followed the example of my parents. My parents are alumnus of Morgan, and they were both always active with the alumni chapter. So I saw that growing up. But how I became the president of alumni chapter about 10 years ago, we were another young lady, Angela McLean. She was slated to be the president or ran for the president, but she got a job to go overseas in like April or May. And then it was like, well, Philly, you here, and we're gonna nominate you president. And it was like, okay, for real, like, yeah, you here, you're gonna be president. And that's been it, So that's been about 10 years ago. They call me Marion Barry, the president for life now. I don't know how I like that term or not, but that's what it is. But I really enjoyed it in terms of, I think that has been somewhat of my calling, to give back to Smith. I talk to somebody from Johnson C. Smith or connect somebody from Johnson C. Smith every day. I definitely can't go 2 days without something, an email, a phone call, a text about Smith. So it's one of my life's passions. I enjoy it. I always am thinking about Smith or thinking about HBCUs and helping support the movement of HBCUs. So that's how I got involved. But I certainly enjoy it and love it, though.
Nice. So, kind of talking to other people, like I know the tremendous benefits. What would you describe to anybody who's not currently a member of DC Alumni or another chapter? What are the benefits of getting involved with DC Alumni, other alumni chapters?
So I think that, of course, the obvious is a networking thing. I think you get to expand your base of friendships. Like, I mean, I know thinking about, I became very close with, members of the 82 class of 90s. So classes, people of folks who were not in my age group, who I didn't go to school with, but we had the common denominator of Smith, and it has all just become family, So, and we have relied on each other. We relied on each other personally. We relied on each other professionally. So that is the benefit that I see. And just that interaction, you have a network of people who we all came through 100 Betty's Ford Road, and we all have a common experience. I think that we, being a small school, we look out for each other. If you say you went to Smith, you family. I don't care, how old you are, how young you are, and we're going to try to, look out for the best of our ability. That is the biggest benefit. But I will say though that, it doesn't come without some work. You had to put something into it. You can't necessarily just go and say, oh, I need this and this, and then we ask you to help do something, and you get to, pump fake it on us, So it requires a little bit of it requires a little bit of effort, but if you put something into it, you'll definitely get something out of it.
So it's kind of fair to say, and having wrong, like, we're not going to use the overseer, but you're in a position of authority where you are somewhat. So the great benefit for like a new alumni member, a young alumnus, or is somebody like, let's say they got out of 2015, is they'll be able to meet somebody like you who's at the Department of Health, who may be in a position of knowing about positions that are coming available. Not to say that you do right now, put that promise, but it's really, you get access to people who can benefit you in your career, right?
Oh yeah, I mean, absolutely. Because I mean, I was just thinking, in a previous position, I was a senior manager, and we had a position open, and we had 3 positions open. And I remember I got 2 resumes from people from Johnson C. Smith, and I told my middle manager, "You got to hire one of them. I don't care what you do. You could pick one of the 2, but but you're gonna pick somebody from Smith though, because I can't be in my position and see people with Johnson C. Smith on their resume and not hiring them. I mean, so you pick one of the 2, you let me know." But I think that is a level of authority that thankfully I'm in that position where I can hire people. But I do know of people, Shamika, who's one of your former guests, she has somebody from Smith on her team. She works with the feds. So I do know of, people with Smith that are in leadership roles that can connect you. And it's just a good way to network.
Nice, man. Well, finally, leaving off, my final question is, what advice, tips would you give to the young alumni base? And kind of any kind of tips you would give to the young brothers and sisters trying to fill your shoes coming behind you?
I think now, critically, I mean, I didn't do a lot of certifications career-wise, but I think it's critical now that people are looking for you to have like a lot of certifications along with your degree. In this career, they want you to be certified. So if you're in public health, you need to be a certified public health professional. Computer-wise, you really need to go to that extended learning or professional development and really be focused on that, be conscious of that. And really take advantage of all those programs. I find that there's numerous programs where people could take advantage of. I think that you also have to write goals. Like, I write yearly goals. I think that we get away from writing goals, or whatever you want to call it, but have a goal sheet. I look at my goal sheet. I post it up in my office where I can refer to it, and it kind of gives me a guide or template, when I'm falling off, off course, which we all do. Life gets in the way, gets in the way of certain stuff. But if you have things written down, I find that it at least gives you a baseline for you to refer back to. And I think you just need to be strategic, write down, chart out what you want to do in like 2-year increments. If you want to be a middle manager, or, you want a promotion, that you need to think about how you're going to strategize to get there. Don't apply for the same type of jobs as you have. Apply for the jobs that's going to be to take the next step and do the things that you need to do to get to that next step. And I think you also had to communicate with what your goals are. So you had to talk to people like myself, or, whoever that are ahead of you, to communicate what you want to do. And a lot of times I think that, they'll at least, look out for you, point you into the direction, or give you some advice. But they're looking for you to be able to articulate what you want to do and be able to really back up and have a plan, and people will be willing to help you.
All right, great. So young alum can reach out to you if they have, because I know I would love to benefit and help out young alum if they have it. Yeah, I feel it sounds like you feel the same. They reach out, need assistance, you'd be willing to help them up.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, we had if they want to reach out to me, I'll shoot my you can post my information. You have it. You can post it on your site and the Facebook group or whatever. But by all means, though, I mean, we just had a Smithite who was doing an internship here. The internship got canceled, but we plugged her into. I have an Airbnb that's across the street from me that was very cheap. So we plugged her into the landlord for her to be able to stay there for a reduced rate. So, all those type things, I'm willing to help personally. I'm willing to help to use our network of Smith or the HBCU Alliance. So, you know, whatever way I can help, please use me. That's what I'm here for.
Well, man, I appreciate it, man. Amazing Future Friday here. Robert Ridley, also known as Philly. If we ever have homecoming again and we're on the yard and you hear that, that's that's the title, man. I appreciate it, man. Much love, man. All right.
All right. And Neil, I just want to give you a shout out. I appreciate what you're doing. You brought this forward about a year or so ago. So we thank you for bringing it forward to trying to connect, you know, the young alumni to the seasoned alumni, the middle alumni. So, brother, I appreciate you. Keep up the good work. And any way I can help, let me know.
All right, man. I appreciate it. Absolutely, man. You take care.
All right. Talk to you.